What does a war thousands of kilometers away have to do with the price of your food, your fuel, or your rent? As much as I want the Iranian regime to be replaced, we have to face economic reality. That's the consequence of war, and in this case, it could be severe. If the United States and Iran escalate into a much more serious conflict, the effects don't just stay in the Middle East, they travel through the global economy. Oil prices are not based only on how much oil is being pumped today, they're based on expectations about tomorrow. Iran sits next to one of the most important oil choke points in the world, the Strait of Hormuz. About 20% of global oil supply moves through that narrow waterway. If there's even a credible threat that shipments could be disrupted, traders don't wait for it to actually happen, right? They react immediately. They buy, right? Prices spike. Now, Iran cannot defeat the United States in a conventional war, but it doesn't have to, right? Its leverage isn't tanks or aircraft or carriers, it's geography. Even limited disruption or even the perception of disruption creates fear in the energy markets. At the same time, the United States doesn't want to look weak, right? Backing down damages credibility. So both sides have incentives to signal strength. Neither side wants global inflation, but neither side wants to blink either. And that tension creates instability. When oil prices rise, everything becomes more expensive, right? Gasoline goes up, shipping costs go up, airlines pay more, factories pay more for electricity and fuel, food production costs rise because modern agriculture depends heavily on energy, from fertilizers to transportation, right? Businesses pass those higher costs on to consumers. That's inflation at global scale. Energy is like oxygen for the economy. When its price rises, it spreads through every sector. The central banks face a dilemma. If they raise interest rates to fight inflation, they slow the economy. If they don't raise rates, inflation can spiral. That combination, weak growth and rising prices, is extremely painful. We saw this in the 1970s oil shock. It took years to stabilize. The real danger isn't necessarily total war, it's prolonged uncertainty. If investors believe oil supply might be unstable for months, they build that risk into prices. And once expectations adjust upward, inflation becomes harder to bring down. So the story isn't just about missiles or military power, it's about incentives, credibility, and expectations.